Hey all, welcome back to another video. So this is not a recipe video, as you have seen the title. It's a cleaning vlog. Now again, I'm not an expert, just sharing. Here I have used a old yogurt box. Into it I added half cup of water with a quarter cup of vinegar and dishwashing liquid. So this is the shelf I cleaned already, the first rack, and the second rack I'm going to clean. That's the masala rack, which usually gets dirty very quickly. So I keep cleaning it in between. So here I have took all the bottles out of the shelf and cleaning them one by one. So no need to empty the contents from the box, just clean it from the outside and dip the scrubber in the dishwash mix and then clean it off with a dry cloth. And if you still feel it wet, just dry it out with a tissue and it's all done. Repeat the same procedure with all the bottles. And so moving on to the cleaning of shelves, as you can see the marks and dust around of masalas. So repeating the same procedure, just clean the shelf first and then scrub it out with the dishwash liquid mix and then wipe it out with cloth and tissue paper. I know that many of you might be much more expert than me in cleaning hacks and all, but just sharing how I do in a simple way. Make sure that you dry out the shelves completely with a dry cloth or a sponge cloth, or else later it will give a wet smell. It's all done. Rearranging the bottles, keeping the small bottles in one side and the big ones at the other side. Now this video is just about cleaning shelves and fridge. Now I have a lot more to clean. So the shelves are done. Now moving on to the cleaning of its doors. So this shelf is near to the gas stop, so it gets dirty very quickly. So cleaning it well. So I have only two shelves on the top and two in the bottom below the cooking counter. So it's easy for me to clean them, but also it's kind of difficult to arrange the stuffs because of the less space. So here's the bottom shelf, cleaning it out, and here are the four boxes where I arranged the pulses, powders and masalas. So in the first box here I have the pasta, vermicelli and other dry stuff stored. So the next box have the extra masalas stored. Usually I get the masalas from India, but as they all got finished, so bought it from here. And the next box have the flour, that's the gram flour, all-purpose flour and rice flour, and the pathiri, appam, idiyappam and puttu podi. So cleaning the box and clipping the powders and keeping it back. I used this clip that I got from IKEA. It's very easy to clip the packets and store it in a box. So in the next box here is only the pulses, just the pulses, that's harissa, kidney beans, ground nuts and other dals, urid dal and all. So that's it. So this shelf is done. Moving on to the next shelf. So this shelf has most of the cleaning and laundry stuffs. Now most of the time we buy stuffs and just keep it in the shelves and forget them. So just checking out what are in there. That's the body scrubber got from Kerala. Checking out the other bags too. Yeah, this had the paper plates and trash bags and all for the parties. Here's the other bag full of knives that goes in the dustbin. Now here's the interesting thing that I don't even remember I had. That's the roti maker. Shall use it someday if it's working. And this goes again in the shelf. So that's the powder I used for cleaning the copper vessels, the copper bottles and all. So now moving on to the cleaning of doors, and the shelves are all done now. Rearranging them. Now that's the stone I use for biryani or dum process, and shelves are done. Moving on to the cleaning of the racks. This is the basket rack I have, so for the quick access for baking and other stuff. Now cleaning the cloth in between, and next moving on to the cleaning of fridge. So the top of the fridge is already clean. It had the aluminium foil, the induction cooker, tissue roll and 2 jars. That's it. And next moving on to the cleaning of freezer first. So turning off the fridge and taking out the stuffs. Now that's the magnet got from husband's workplace. That's the land border. So next took out all of the stuffs from the freezer and then scrubbing it out first. Now it's not that dirty, but yes, still have to clean it. Now next wipe it out with a sponge cloth and make sure that you clean the cloth in between, and then dry it out and then wipe the excess, and at last wipe it out with tissue paper so that the freezer is all dry. Now the reason why most of the people add vinegars in the cleaning liquid is to avoid that pungent smell and give a freshness to the fridge and other shelves too. Now taking out the masalas. Now this shelf gets very dirty in my fridge as I be in a hurry and some of the masalas just spill out. And taking out the sauce bottles and cleaning these racks too. Dry it out completely with the tissue paper and then keep it back. Rearranging the stuffs. Now if you want, you can clean the masala boxes. If it's clean, then no issues. Now that's the powders, sauces. Now cleaning of the fridge also includes checking of the stuff that we have stored in the fridge. Now this is the dry fruits powder that I add in my little one's food. That's the pomegranate seeds that we add in the curries. That's the face mask. That's nearly 2-year-old now. I use it hardly. I took out the glass shelves one by one and then scrubbed it out with the same dishwash liquid and washed it with the water and dried it out completely. Placing the vegetable tray back, and it's all done now. Now here's how I stored the onions, potatoes, coconut and shallots. How I store the vegetables is place a tissue paper in the vegetable tray and then add the vegetables one by one. Now I make a separate corner for each vegetable. Now this tissue paper hack was again inspired by the YouTuber Shamsira. Thanks a lot to her for this hack, as it absorbs the moisture in the vegetables and the vegetables stay fresh for a longer time. Again, I have showed in my previous video that how I store the leaves and green chilies in a airtight container with the tissue paper as they stay fresh for a longer time. Arranging the new vegetables in the bottom and the old ones on the top. milk, butter, yogurt and other stuffs. That's the ready to eat parota. That's wheat and maida. Here's the pickles and all the arrangements are done now. That's the ginger that I have to make ginger garlic paste. So then store it in the vegetable box. Now here's the cleaning of the outer part of the fridge. Now this is not a detailed video of what's in my fridge. This is just a cleaning vlog. So this was my pre-Ramadan kitchen cleaning vlog. Hope you all like it. Do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.